Just want to explain another technique. Just put it out there to people. Like it's do you remember in the cowboy movies where they would put their ear to the ground and they'd be like, "Oh, there's horses way off. They're coming. They're coming to get us." Or some Indian dude would be like, "The wind has told me that there's some feds coming." You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen. Even though that sounds cornball, to some extent, things like that are real. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'll just show you a real ghetto way to prove it to you right at this moment. When you go to the fireworks, don't you feel in your chest the booms? Or when you hear the bass, you can hear people with bass coming from miles and miles away. You could become so desensitized to it that you don't recognize it anymore. But if you're real perceptive, you won't think about it, but you'll know which street they're on afar. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I was just standing there. What triggered this response right here is I was just standing there and just got on socks. Kitchen's wood floor. This is an old house. It's almost like a big freaking speaker box, which adds to this real weird lingering of noise effect in it, which is just, it's horrible. It's real fucking psychological. You know what I'm saying? But a dude with a loud ass muffler truck goes driving by, and as he went, I could feel the exact vibration duration of it through my feet in the floor. It almost felt like electricity. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and it was a vibration from the truck. It wasn't, oh, like this ain't spooky mumbo jumbo mysticism. This is just really, it's just, even though back in the day they try to, like, look, it's explained sometimes in mystical ways, but it's not really that mystical. It's just a high level of common sense. A high freaking level of common sense. That's really all most of this, what people would associate with mysticism. It's a mystery. Because, see, that's the thing. They want to trick you to think it's some mystical thing when it's really just like, look, a high level common sense. And if you want to think in such a manner and you work for it, you put in time and energy and effort and thought, and you make the freaking decision. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, look, you might learn on accident, but then you can decide to follow upon this foundation that you find. It's like almost like you go walking through a field, and then all of a sudden you stub your freaking toe, and then you kick at the grass, and right under it is a big stone. And you keep peeling away at the freaking grass, and you find a freaking pathway that's just hidden under a layer of dirt. And you're like, how'd that pathway get under this layer of dirt? Who put this pathway here? I mean, in a way, it's something to that effect. But you know, you got to follow it up. How many people trip there over this path and just keep walking on, and they don't look. They actually walk through horrible terrain to stay off of this path that's kind of right there. It's not the yellow brick road that leads to the Wizard of Oz. It's more like that road least traveled type thing, and it's because it's like that. It's kind of, you gotta chip away, a little bit to find it, but it's right there. It's always right there, right around you. Like, look, even if you're way off course, if you are perceptive and you can, in such a manner, almost kind of like I can feel my own voice coming through my feet because of these stairs that I'm sitting on, for instance. That's how much sensitivity you have in many more areas of your body. And then if you can even think of the consciousness the thoughts you entertain, the things you meditate upon, because really meditation is to not think, but then to constantly meditate on something is to only narrow your thoughts to certain things that are important. This isn't putting on the blinders. This isn't narrowing your thoughts on Kim Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? This is actually, I take my thoughts off of these things and I put them back towards what is important, what is truly important. If I'm sitting there talking about the damn news and Kim Kardashian comes across there with her booty out, you know what I'm saying? It's just, look, it's like you may see it, but look, you quickly, that's what goes in one and out the other. And you have to train at it, because if not, the eye will overpower the mind and the ear, and you'll focus on that and you'll forget what's important for a minute, and it just bogs you down. It might not end your life necessarily, but I mean literally. You could be sitting there walking through the street, watching a podcast of someone looking at Kim Kardashian, and then look, you'd be like, yeah, and then look, a car come hit you like, what was that show? Final Destination. You know what I'm saying? Or look, while you're doing that, like me, I'd be out in the woods looking for Bigfoot, and if I did that while I was doing that, I'd be like, and look, Bigfoot would be back there watching, and I wouldn't take the picture of the Bigfoot because I was too busy looking at Big Butt. You know what I'm saying? In a way, that's really how it works. The more time you dedicate to looking at Big Butt, it's less time you're out squatching looking for Bigfoot. You dig? So I mean, is the Neo woman in the red dress in a nutshell, in a reiteration in a different format. This more like Lone Gunman magazine type journalist out trying to hunt down some clues on some on local crypto cryptids like Dogman, Operation Mad Dog. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I'm privy to that because I didn't. I guess I had a lot of free time on my hands. Because look, you'll get real nerdy if you start chasing down some of these subjects. Some of them are just for fun, like the Squatch situation. Because in the end, it doesn't really matter. But it's almost like in video games that you got your primary mission, but like at the bottom of you can also some games you can get gold medals if you get the extra side missions and like get you got to go and sneak through this spot without in a amount of time. But if you happen to get a picture of Bigfoot before you complete the mission, you get the super platinum secret medal. You know what I'm saying? And extra experience points, shit like that. But real life is kind of like that. Sometimes you got to do that to yourself. You got to uh, have your kind of like happy thought in a way. Even this isn't ignore reality and only concentrate on the happy thought. It's like you use your happy thought to when things are really looking bad and you have no other way but for a moment of a happy thought to regroup and then come back to it. It's kind of like if anyone who can take 7 breaths before they respond to anything, that's a person right off Jump Street. You're operating off of patience and the fact that you operate off the patience, but the 7 breaths are going to help you anyway because that's really like uh it's a beneficial practice anyway just to breathe because there's many times you're so busy arguing. If you ever argued to the point where you run out of breath and you got to go before you can speak again, it's like you cannot do that and be operating off that 7 breaths, and it's all between responses, between exchanges. You know what I'm saying? And that cuts out a lot of that intensifying back and forth, revving up the chainsaw type of conversation. Which just when everyone walks away with hard feelings, man, it's just it's that is never nothing but counterproductive between people's relationships ever. It's net even if one walks away not in peace, one should walk away in peace, even if it's a bad situation, if that makes any sense. And you should always let it be the other person and not you. And I mean that's how you narrow in the scope. That's what you focus your mind on right there when these things are happening. But look, if it ain't going down, no reason to be like that. Try to be it's like, I've been operating off this principle. It's like I won't mess with you, don't mess with me. You know what I'm saying? Basically. But you gotta let a person be free to speak their mind and be themselves. Because that's really what truly is what's up with it. If you can't let people be their self and then you keep your peace, it's like they're not really the ones that are off their peace. You are. You know what I'm saying? In a way. So therefore, they're already one up because you want something that you're not, that it's not. It's kind of an untruth. It's difficult to fight from these positions. And that's where they keep us at in that disadvantageous positioning. So you can never gain a foothold to really defeat your own kind of gunk. You get the mote out your own eye, basically, is what it is. And, everyone's kind of there in a way. but everyone equally has their own chance to figure it out and come out of it. And really, one of that ways is by taking advice from others. They'll be, it's you know. Uh,